Good morning and welcome to Our Chicago. I'm Judy Hsu. After months of being told to wear masks to slow the spread of COVID-19, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recently changed its guidance for some Americans in certain situations. The CDC director saying science was behind that decision. Now, those changes have prompted states and businesses to drop their mask requirements. This morning, we're sorting out who can go without a mask and where, as well as what all of this means for the upcoming holiday weekend. Here to talk about all of that is Dr. John Coleman. He is a pulmonologist and critical care physician at Northwestern Medicine. He has spent the last year treating COVID patients. Good morning, doctor. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, Judy. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to try to sort through all of that information. The change, as you know, certainly caught some people off guard. Dr. Fauci has said that he thinks the public is misinterpreting the announcement. You have been on the front lines treating COVID patients. What do you make of the new mask guidance? Is there now confusion, anxiety about what people should and should not do?
So I definitely think there's going to be anxiety about it for sure. In terms of, for the last year, we've all been told socially distance, wear masks, but the situation has changed, right? So we have science now proving the efficacy of the vaccines. We know that it decreases the transmission rate. We know that it decreases the risk of getting critically ill. On top of that, we know that the prevalence of COVID in the community is significantly declined. We're down to less than 30,000 cases in the United States compared to our peak in the winter months. So when you take those two factors into partnership, you kind of see that we're in a much better place than we've been. The anxiety comes from the fact that they're telling you fully vaccinated people do not need to wear a mask, but unvaccinated people still need to wear a mask. And how do you know is someone vaccinated or not vaccinated? And the truth is we don't know. And so you have to practice what you feel most comfortable with. I think what we're going to see moving forward is that it's going to be a very personal decision for a lot of people. I think we're going to live in kind of a hybrid world for a while of some people will wear masks and some people will not.
Now, under the new guidance, you still do have to wear a mask, even fully vaccinated, in healthcare settings, on public transit, in schools and daycare. But in most other cases, as you said, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't need a mask. Doesn't that then beg the question, though, why is it okay here and not there?
Absolutely. So I think you have to think about who are you around in those situations. In a healthcare setting, at least for myself in the hospital, there are a lot of people who are immunocompromised, right? So people who have cancers or are on chronic immunosuppressive drugs, who've had transplants. And so the risk is that their immune systems are already knocked down and we don't want to risk infecting them. In terms of public transportation, those are what the CDC is giving is guidelines, right? Recommendations. They're not mandates. Public transportation, the air traffic control, flights, that's all being dictated by the transportation organizations. And so they're indicating that they still want people to wear masks. And that may change in the next few months. In terms of schools and daycares, we know that children are not vaccinated right now. And so the risk of giving it to children or exposing them to them, I think is appropriate to still be wearing masks in those situations.
I also want to ask you, a lot of people have this question, say I'm vaccinated, I go without a mask, but the person next to me in the store, in the gym is not vaccinated, but chooses to go without a mask. What is the level of risk of me getting infected because there are still these breakthrough cases?
Absolutely. We've seen some of these breakthrough cases in the hospital, but what I will say is that they don't come in as severely ill. Well, the biggest issue that we had over the last year was not having enough healthcare support, right? So we saw in the spring of 2020 that we had people coming in hour by hour, minute by minute, coming in, end up on respiratory failure, on ventilators. And the concern was, will we be able to support them? I think that if you feel comfortable being vaccinated and you're in a situation that while the person next to you may be unvaccinated, you are still safe. We've seen in the data from the vaccines and the trials that you are safe in those situations. There's always going to be some kind of breakthrough case, but overall, I think we're in a much better place than we were a year ago.
I also have to ask you, of course, we have the holiday weekend coming up. What do you think? What are your concerns there about coming up? Do you anticipate the rates of infection to increase after that?
I think we're in a phase of COVID right now where we have to learn to coexist with it, right? I think it's not going to go away completely. There are going to be people that do not get vaccinated. And so there may always be little spikes after holidays or after travel periods. But again, the goal is to have it not affect the healthcare system and be a burden to the system. We probably will see a little bit of a surge or a little bump, I should say, not even a surge. But I think that it will, again, given the increasing number of vaccinations, given the decrease in the prevalence in the community, I think we will be okay.
A lot of really good information. Dr. Coleman, thank you for walking us through this morning.
Of course. Thank you very much, Judy. You have a nice day.
All right, take care. And after a short break here, we'll talk about kids who cannot get vaccinated just yet and what kinds of activities they can safely do this summer.
Hey, if you like that video, be sure to subscribe to our ABC7 Chicago YouTube channel.